What is going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Folks, I got a story you got to see or hear to believe. Now, I'm going to just get into it. Happy Thursday, by the way. See this man up here? This man's name is Dwayne Hall. He's 53 years old, out of Marion County, Florida. Shout out Marion County. See this woman right here? Her name is Sonia Exelby. She's 32 years old, from UK. Shout out UK. The reason why this man from Florida and this woman from UK is on here together, living in two separate places, is because 2 years ago, Miss Exelby met Mr. Hall on a fetish site. And over the 2 years they were talking, and she explained to him, because she has suicidal tendencies, that she wanted to die a violent death. So Mr. Hall and her agreed that she would fly over here and he would do it and she would pay him. Yeah. With that being said, take a look at all this stuff that's out right now. This is crazy as can be. Check it.
And a woman flies to Florida to be murdered on purpose? It's the wild investigation that has detectives asking a whole lot of questions.
And Marion County investigators call it the most bizarre murder case they've ever seen. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Luann Sorrell.
And I'm John Brown. It was a murder for hire plot, but here's the twist. She allegedly hired the hit on herself. And investigators say the woman flew halfway around the world to Central Florida to be tortured and killed. And this man allegedly took her up on the offer. Fox 35 was the only TV news crew in court this morning when Dwayne Hall went before a judge. Investigators say Hall murdered her and then dumped her body in the woods. Fox 35's Marie Ettinger is live on that story tonight. So, Marie, detectives say the woman from the UK paid the suspect. This is such a bizarre case.
It really is. Hall told investigators he was supposed to get $4,000 for this crime, but that he'd actually only gotten $1,200 in the end. He told investigators he was upset about that. The FDLE says a woman in the United Kingdom posted on a fetish website looking for someone to abuse and kill her.
Dwayne Hall?
And that this man took her up on the offer. Dwayne Hall is now facing charges for homicide and kidnapping in a case a former detective called bizarre and unthinkable. What were your thoughts when I called you about this case?
You know, my first thought was, wow, I literally have been in this business 30 plus years. I have never heard anything close to what you had explained to me.
According to court documents, Hall told investigators he met Sonia Exelby online a couple years ago. The FDLE says Exelby flew from England to Gainesville on October 10th. Hall picked her up and drove her to an Airbnb Exelby had reserved in Reddick. Investigators say they found video on Hall's phone taken the next day, showing Exelby covered in cuts and bruises, with audio of Hall demanding Exelby verbally give consent to be stabbed. Detectives found messages Exelby sent a friend over Discord that day, expressing regret.
It doesn't matter if the victim is willing or not willing to be murdered. It is against the law to take anyone's life in a premeditated fashion or planned fashion.
Investigators talked with Hall on October 13th and 14th while Exelby was still considered missing. An arrest report says he'd tried to run her credit cards through his roadside assistance business. He was arrested then for fraud. Her body was found in Marion Oaks 3 days later.
I agree under these circumstances that there is no condition of bond that would assure your presence in court, keep the community safe, and the facts of this case. There is a large amount of evidence against you.
Hall's arrest report details the evidence detectives have against him. Investigators found bank records and surveillance video showing him purchasing several items, including a rope they found at the Airbnb and a shovel they later found with his and Exelby's DNA on it. They found that shovel's label left behind at her burial site. And they found Facebook messages he sent from jail detailing a package he'd mailed to a friend in Ohio, which they went to retrieve, finding Exelby's blood on it. As you heard the judge say, Hall will be staying in jail pending his trial that he is due in court December 23rd. At 6 o'clock tonight, you'll hear from a woman who used to know him, and you'll hear from a mental health expert. Reporting live, Maria Edinger, Fox 35 News.
Documents reveal a British woman agreed to pay a Marion County man thousands of dollars to torture and murder her. Investigators say the victim, Sonia Exelby, traveled from her home in England to Gainesville. They say she then met a man in Ocala. Her remains were later found in a wooded area of the Marion Oaks community back on October 13th. Investigative reporter Ashlyn Webb joining us live here in the studio. Ashlyn, you've been working on this story all night. The suspect originally told investigators he never met her.
Yes, but shortly after his story began to unravel, Dwayne Hall told investigators he met her online 2 years ago on what he described as a fetish site. He said he had a mentor-type relationship with her. He says he knew Exelby suffered from severe mental illness and wanted to help her, but investigators say instead he tortured her for days and then murdered her. New documents reveal what brought FDLE investigators to these woods in Marion County. That's now a crime scene. Investigators say they found multiple attempted charges to Sonia Exelby's card from Solvers Wolf's roadside assistance. Dwayne Hall is the company's sole employee. Hall told investigators Exelby tried to get roadside assistance, but when her card didn't go through, he never helped her. But quickly, his story changed, later admitting to investigators he's had an online relationship with Exelby for roughly 2 years, where they discussed bondage, suicide, and her desire to have someone kill her. Investigators say they searched Exelby's Airbnb in Marion County and found receipts in the trash for October 10th, all charges to Hall's card, showing Hall purchased a rope, gun cleaner, and a shovel. Purchases investigators say were all made just before the suspect admitted to picking up Sonia Exelby at the Gainesville airport. Hall says he had sex with Exelby, but he says she agreed to bring him $4,000 in cash. Instead, she gave him $1,200 from her card. He told investigators he was upset. FDLE recovered video off of Hall's phone that he recorded of Exelby, who investigators described as having multiple bruises, abrasions to her face and neck, visibly crying. Investigators say Hall asked on the video how she would want to die. She hesitated and said to be stabbed. Investigators found messages Exelby is believed to have sent to her friend on a gaming app that FDLE says shows Hall was controlling her, that she was afraid and made a mistake. FDLE says Hall's phone records took them to the wooded area in Marion County off of Southwest 30th Terrace, where they found a grave and later remains belonging to Exelby. Now, investigators say Hall later messaged a friend from Ohio on Facebook telling him he was shipping him a knife and a bracelet. Investigators recovered that knife and says the blood on it belonged to Exelby. He's been charged with murder and kidnapping. Reporting in studio, Ashlyn Webb, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
I don't even know what to say about that. You know, I come up with some crazy stories to show y'all, but that right there is in the top 20 at least. Now, there are a lot of people out here that want to take themselves out of here. A lot of people out here are not right in their head. And there are other people out here that are willing to oblige to commit carnage on people because that's in their nature. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Violence is a part of man. It was like that since the beginning of time. You know, you have to fight for survival and all this stuff. And today's no different. These people talked for 2 years and built a relationship to where she trusted him to kill her, and he was going to oblige. He only got $1,500. The price was supposed to be $4,000. So for $1,500, you tortured and killed a woman that you were friends with on the internet because she asked you to, and the money was the incentive to go ahead and do that. I need to take this dude outside and hang him right now. They do. And then the thing that's crazy about it is I was talking to my wife about this the other day, and I was like, you ever notice every horror movie that's basically out, well, not basically out, but like the majority of horror movies show white women getting killed and tortured and all kind of stuff. they're usually a part of the story. And it's been like that since the 80s with the Jason films, Freddy, Halloween, all of that type of stuff. And you wonder why there's a bunch of guys out here right now that will be willing to do this type of stuff and put somebody in suspended terror or horrify somebody in vicious ways because women are seen a certain way in this country. You know, portrayed in films as being victims, skeevy, there's just a bunch of stupid shit. But I want you to think about something. This woman left and came over here. Look at the timeline. She arrived October 10th. He picked her up. She was reported missing October 13th when she never returned on her return flight. Now, one of two things. Either she was just talking shit and wanted to get mildly tortured and some BDF stuff and didn't really believe he would really do that, and she just wanted to meet him and have some fun. Or she put the return flight to ease people's fears that in UK that cared about her, that she would come home, but she wasn't. Either way, this is crazy because the reason why this guy, the law enforcement caught on to this is because this woman, Miss Exelby, has a partner, I don't know what that means, in UK that reported her missing and already knew a little bit about the situation between them two and alerted, and UK alerted Florida, law enforcement, and that's how they caught him. Because you see, they said he lied at first, he ain't know her, but they already knew from all the information and the internet footprint, so he had to come clean. That's crazy as hell. I have no words for it, but either way, man, I mean, damn, a lot of people are going through shit, and a lot of people are fixated with stuff they see on TV, and it's from an emotional standpoint, they want to experience what it is to be terrified with no way out, and I don't, but there are some people that do. Shit is crazy. Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. $1,500. And he did all that to her. It's crazy. See you in the next video. Take care.